got Breece Hall in my flex, but looking to bench him. Ooh, spicy take. Who do you start instead? JSN? I would not start JSN instead of Breece Hall. Van Jefferson, I would not start ahead of him. Nope, I would not start any of these guys ahead of Breece Hall. Even though there's some concerns about Hall and his recovery from the ACL and whether Hall will get like 30% of the snaps, excuse me. My argument is that it doesn't take a lot for Breece Hall to pay off what you're looking for. JSN is still running as the wide receiver 3. I don't think Van Jefferson is very good. Like someone, I got some hate a couple days ago. I posted a Van Jefferson video on the YouTube channel. You can check it out. But I posted the Van Jefferson video and people were up in arms. They're like, you are a Van Jefferson hater. He is one of the best separators in the NFL. And I said, he was wide receiver 76 in target separation last year. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay. Van Jefferson is not anything special. So for Cooper Kupp to be ruled out, and that's news, right? Cooper Kupp is ruled out for week 1. Van Jefferson projects to be the wide receiver 1, but I think it's going to be a lot of Tyler Higbee. And I think that's the big winner from the Cooper Kupp injury, if there is such a thing as a winner from an injury. But JSN, I would not start week 1 over Breece Hall. Van Jefferson, neither. Zay Flowers. I like Flowers and OBJ, like in spike weeks when I don't need to think about when I want to start him. But to actually say, hey, I'm going to take Zay Flowers or OBJ over Breece Hall, not going to be the case. Okay, back to my reason for Breece Hall. Breece Hall finished, so let's just go through the game logs last year. 44% snaps, he scored 10 fantasy points. So he's running back 33. That's fine. Week 2 against Cleveland last year, only 27% of snaps for Hall, 13 fantasy points. That was running back 14. In week 3, 50% of the snaps, a pretty even split, right? Let's say it's Dalvin 45, Breece Hall 45. Against Cincinnati, again, 15.2 fantasy points. He was running back 13 that week. So he's a high-end running back too. And then even in the week where he tore his ACL, week 7, he played 21% of the snaps, finished with 13 fantasy points, RB22 on the week. He does not need a lot of snaps to be efficient because he can catch passes out of the backfield. And that is where he can make his money. Dalvin Cook, not a good pass catcher out of the backfield, not a good pass blocker. And he was so inefficient after he caught the ball last year. So no, I think Breece Hall, who has gotten a lot more work this offseason relative to Dalvin Cook is still dealing with the shoulder issue. So I'm not as worried about Dalvin Cook. I'm a big believer in Breece Hall. I also think, and this is like for context, if Breece Hall did not tear his ACL this past year, we would be talking about Breece Hall in the 1.01 overall conversation. I'm not saying he would be the consensus, but I'm saying he would be in the same breath as McCaffrey, Chase, Jefferson, at the time Kelsey. He would be in that tier, whether or not whatever order you have them in, he would be in that tier. So we're talking about an elite talent who can catch the ball and was one of the best in all of the metrics. Like, let's take a look at some of the metrics for Breece Hall last year. It was phenomenal. Okay. Running back 1 in yards per touch, running back 2 in breakaway run rate, running back 3 in true yards per carry, right? This is a player with elite upside. We're talking week winning upside. Fantasy points per opportunity is running back 7. Okay. They're oh, and you're like, but wait, Bradley, hold on here. Wouldn't he just have room to run, rotated through, keeping the defenses honest, blah, blah, blah? No, he was 6th in most defenders in the box, average defenders in the box, 6th, and 4th in stacked front carry rate. Teams were playing the run knew that the Jets were going to run, and still Breece Hall had the number 2 breakaway run rate last year. Yeah, dude is good. Oh, and those efficiency metrics are sticky even coming off of injury. Look at J.K. Dobbins last year, coming off the major ACL injury. Still, his breakaway run rate, his true yards per carry, his juke rate, all of it was phenomenal. It was outstanding. It was one of the best in the NFL, J.K. Dobbins. And so I'm not worried about the injury long term, and even short term. We've seen Breece Hall produce at a very, very high level. So, Chris, I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried about him. And I would not start any of those that you listed over Breece Hall.